guys, welcome back. Today is another Foodie Friday and we're gonna once again use my Instapot. This is the Ninja Tender Crisp and I've been saying in my last couple of videos, I love it. So we're gonna go ahead and continue cooking in here. I just find it so easy that why not? Let's throw a few recipes out there, play with this baby and see what we can make. So today I think we're gonna make some beef French dip sandwiches, something quick, easy, and simple that the kids will enjoy. These are the videos I like to do on the side of my makeup videos and my foster caring update videos. Now I'm getting really hungry, so let's start cooking. Now here I have a 4.5 pound beef roast. This is a beef round rump roast, but you can use any roast that you have. Whatever you can find at the market. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and cut this into about 4 or 5 pieces, see what I can do. Good sized pieces. This way it can cook faster. So I went ahead and cut them in 6 big pieces. And I'm pouring about a tablespoon of olive oil. So I went ahead and put it on, and then we're gonna go ahead and click saute and start. We're gonna go ahead and let that get hot. Now I can hear it sizzling, so it sounds like it's getting hot. We're gonna go ahead and put the meat in. Even though this is a non-stick pan, I still put a little bit of olive oil, just kind of spreading that around. Now I don't want to overpack this, so I'm just gonna do about 3. I can do 4, but we'll go ahead and leave it as 3 because I have 3 more pieces. While it's in there, I'm putting in the seasoning. You can do it before, but to tell you the truth, I kind of forgot. So we're gonna go ahead and add it now. Some salt, some pepper, and you want to cook it about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. You don't have to get all the sides, but at least 2 of them, maybe 3, just to give it that flavor that we're looking for. There we go. Okay, so while that is cooking and simmering, we're gonna go ahead and do these other pieces. In total, you might want like a tablespoon and a half of salt, half a tablespoon or so of pepper, but I like things really peppery, so I might put a little bit more. Just kind of go towards your own preference. This is gonna be so good. Now some pepper. I really don't even measure, just kind of get everything. You're gonna have all that juice once it cooks. It's gonna be so good. I think those are ready. We're gonna go ahead and switch. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut up 1 onion. So I'm gonna just cut these up in 4 cubes and then cut them up, and then cut those cubes in half again. Horizontal, vertically, it don't really matter. Oh, I can feel they're affecting my eyes now. Oh, the tears are starting. Onions. We're just cutting these in some good sized pieces because they are gonna shrink, so we don't want them too small. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and scrape off all that bottom. This is gonna be all our flavor in here, so we just don't want it to stick to the pan. But this is gonna go into our juice, so that's exactly what we want. Now we're throwing in our onion. We also want a garlic, but instead of buying fresh garlic, I use this jar. I love it because it is in water and it just lasts so long. And I'm just gonna use like a half a teaspoon, just kind of get some of that out, and we're gonna go ahead and add it. Make sure you mix that all up. Woohoo, look at all that. Now we wanna go ahead and get red wine. We wanna make sure it's the dry red wine and not a sweet. So we're gonna go ahead and pour just like about a half a cup. And then we're gonna add some beef broth, about a half a cup as well. So we're just gonna go ahead and let that simmer for about a minute or so. You can also add some fresh rosemary, a bay leaf, whatever you have. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a bay leaf. You can actually put the whole roast in the pressure cooker, but we want it to cook faster. And not only that, when we start to shred, we want medium-sized chunks because we don't want it too shredded like a pulled pork. You want like a good sized pieces. So you'll see it as we shred it, how nice the pieces come out. Now I went ahead and canceled the saute. I'm turning it back on. We're gonna press pressure cooker, and then we're gonna go ahead and keep it on high. And we wanna do about an hour. So there we go. And it is now ready. So we press start. One more thing, make sure it's on sill and not vent. Now it's done cooking, and it has a natural release of about 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and release the vent. I have my cookie sheet out ready to go, and I have my French breads. We're gonna go ahead and cut this in half and prepare the rolls for the meat while this is finishing its release. You can go ahead and use Hawaiian rolls. That would add a really good taste to it, but because I made pulled pork sandwiches a few days ago and we used Hawaiian rolls, I figured I would do these French rolls just to change it up a bit. If you want that recipe on that pulled pork sandwich that I make, it came out so good. I'll go ahead and link it below. I'm actually gonna cut this all the way. I was gonna do halfway, but we'll just go all the way. Now that that's ready, we'll put this aside and start on the meat. Now the meat's really tender, so you shouldn't have to do too much shredding. We wanna get majority of that juice out. Now I'm just gonna do it old school style, and we're just gonna shred that up with a fork. See, you just wanna shred it. I really just kinda, it's falling apart. So chunks is fine, like that, that's okay. We can keep those. We're gonna get our provolone. I just got the cheapest, this is the Culver brand. This is really thick, so I think I'm gonna cut them in half and add them on. And then we're gonna top it with our meat. Now it's still hot, so it's gonna kind of melt the cheese. Then we can pull out some of that onion that's in the pan, and we can add it on top as well. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into the oven. But if you're anything like me and you store your pans in the oven, this is what it looks like every time you decide to use the kitchen. We're gonna go ahead and drain out all that juice to catch all the fat, if there's any of that extra onions. There we go. Because this is what we're gonna use to dip. And now in these little containers, I'm gonna go ahead and pour the juice for each of us. And you only want the sandwiches in the oven for a couple minutes, just enough to melt the cheese. I'm telling you, these kids are crazy. You only want the sandwiches in the oven for just a little bit, couple minutes, just to melt the cheese. You don't want to dry out the meat. You can see everything is melted. I added a little bit of parsley before I put it in the oven. So you dip it, then you eat it. So everybody's eating. Missy likes to add tapatio to everything. But you can put jalapeno, whatever you like. Alright guys, so that's all for today. I'm going to go ahead and finish eating with the family and then head over back to the kitchen to put all the pans back into the oven. So if you enjoyed this recipe and you want to see more like this, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to my channel. Alright guys, as always, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video or the comments below, whichever comes first. Have a blessed day.